All right, guys. So I have an Intel update and my personal update of what's been going on. Bear with me because I'm in a silly mood. I was out earlier today. I had my makeup and my hair done. I was all dressed up and everything. Halal. I went to the masjid for Juma. Yes, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. You see this? This is called balance. This is called supreme balance. A lot of y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all too far on the right or too far on the left. This is supreme balance and mathematics. Can't fuck with me, dog. Yeah. But anyway, I went to the masjid, mashallah. I feel a lot better. I was at the masjid. I was late. I went to Merritt Island Masjid, Furukun, Furakun, not, I can't pronounce the name, Furkan. I can't pronounce the name of the masjid. I have to look back on the internet. Y'all, let me tell y'all how blessed I am. I had the wrong address typed into the GPS and I still made it to the masjid, but I had arrived late and I figured it out without the GPS, even though the GPS helped. So I had put in the GPS by mistake. I have the Intel update. I have an Intel update. I have a serious Intel update for y'all. But first, I'm going to tell y'all about my day. I'm having a wonderful day. It started out really crazy. It started out really, 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 really crazy. Okay. I had got up in the morning. I had some running around to do. I had checked my oil because I'm about to be taking this trip to North Carolina. I got to go deal with some things and pick up a special package. Yes, from North Carolina, and I'll be doing that soon. I don't want to give too many details here. So I had to check my oil. I had a relative of mine, my other son, 25, he was incarcerated in California because he got caught up with BLM and Antifa. And I warned him not to. And he's caught up with some pretty bad people. He got incarcerated. He was hanging out in California with some gang, with some bangers or some idiota. Them. He was hanging around the bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise. He was hanging around BLM. He got locked up. He just come out. We don't know how he's doing. We don't know if he went back. We don't know if he went back. I'm all over the place. I know. I'm still telling you all about the car and the oil change and the masjid. Just rock with me. I'm gonna cipher this all out. So my son just got out of jail. And if he has any decency and common sense, he won't go back around the same people that put him in trouble. He needs to straighten out. But anyhow, I had dealt with his grandfather. Thank God I had the assistance I needed from the Virgin Islands, from St. Thomas, and his grandfather was able to wire me some money so I have enough gas so I can get my special package from North Carolina, which is my other son. See, them devils from the Illuminati, you can't have neither one of my sons. I rebuke you in the name of Allah, Al-Azim. Allah is magnificent. You can try to plot and gang stalk all you want, but you will lose, Babylon. You will lose. So anyhow, I'm getting all my money together to take this trip to North Carolina. So I was going to the masjid today to make prayer. I didn't go yesterday because I was too tired and I found out it was too far away. So I went to the masjid for Juma. I went today for Juma, mashallah. I went to the masjid, and the crazy thing about it was I put the wrong address in the GPS because I had so many things going on, wondering should I get my oil change, and it's just too much is going on right now. But I'm handling this like a trooper. I'm gonna get through this because I'm a warrior. I'm Jah warrior, and I'm protected by Allah. So I'm gonna get through this with no problem, inshallah. So anyhow, I made it to the masjid, and it's so crazy. It's so crazy because the masjid I was going to is located in Merritt Island, and the address is 550 East Florida Avenue. But I had typed in 5050 Florida Avenue into my phone, which was actually a whole nother separate address and street that was on the way that still led me to the masjid once I realized I had to retype and put in the right address. And I made it to the masjid. Now, I was supposed to meet a young lady, a young sister by the name of Latifa, but I got there a little late. I was supposed to meet her. At 1. I didn't get to the masjid till 2. So I just went in. I had already washed my feet before I left the house. And I went in, and they have the men's side and the women's side. And I couldn't find anyone. When I went on the women's side, I just put some clean socks on. I took my sandals off. I had left them by the door. But it was all the men's shoes from the men's side. I couldn't find the woman's shoe for the woman's shoe side before you go in to make salat. And I was a little confused. I went in the woman's side in the restroom. I was going to wash my feet, but I had already washed my feet before I left the house, and I was careful. So I dusted them and put on white socks before I went in to the prayer room. It was only me and like one other sister. Apparently I got there late. So Latifa, mashallah, Latifa, who was supposed to meet me and usher me in, I guess she had already went home. So I was like a little like apprehensive because I was like the only sister there. There was like one more sister, and the men, their worship area is separate. The women are separate from the men, as so it should be when they're making prayer, so the men aren't distracted and caught up in lust and looking at the woman and vice versa. So basically, to sum it all up, I went in there, I made prayer. I asked for Latifa. They couldn't find her. She wasn't there. I'm assuming she left because I was supposed to be there at 1 o'clock. So I just made prayer, and I talked to like a couple brothers, and I told them I was looking for Latifa, and I told them I was new, and then I went on my way. There was a sister at the gates that was for zakat. I gave $3 because I don't have a lot of money right now to use it for gas money. There was a sister at the gates, and she was with her son, and she had a sign up for like donations because she's having a hard time. I stopped my car as I was coming out the gate to the masjid. I donated $3 to the sister. I got on my way, but I was just like a little agitated because I was mad at myself. And then I stopped at the halal gas station right down the block, and I was speaking to a Muslim brother in there, and he was like, "Don't be upset that you missed Latifa. Don't be upset." And I was like, I know. But I just kind of felt like I felt a little bit funny. And I was like joking with him. I was like, man, I get no love because the brothers in there were acting like they didn't really want to answer my question because they don't trust newcomer and they never seen me before. And also our Sharia law, men aren't really supposed to be talking to women like that. And in all actuality, I should have had an escort. But because I just moved here, I'm by myself. Y'all don't understand Al Sharia, so I'm not even going to go all into it. But anyhow, I made out at the masjid. I feel a lot better that I went in and prayed. So I have the Intel drop. The Intel drop is coming. I have to touch. I need my highlighter. I need to turn the light on. I'm coming back. Coming back. And like I said, I'm in my pajamas. Earlier, I was dressed all up and everything. I'm in my pajamas. When I sleep, yes, I wear a stocking cap. It's black, but I'm not a black hat. Y'all don't know nothing about this Intel. They don't know nothing. I got supreme balance. Y'all don't know nothing about that. All you fools is extra on the right or extra on the left. Y'all don't know nothing about supreme balance or supreme clientele. You don't know nothing about supreme clientele or supreme balance. And I don't mean no harm, but I'm just telling the facts. So hold on, y'all. Give me a minute because I have to highlight the Intel drop information that I jotted down. And I still have some more to give on my personal update. Bear with me 1 minute. Because I got to talk about Putin, Iran. Okay, the transfer of power. Bear with me, y'all. This information. I'm a clairvoyant, and this information is from my discernment and my clairvoyant powers gift, the clairvoyant gift that I have. Anytime I give an intel drop, it is my information alone that comes to me telepathically because I'm a clairvoyant and I have contact with grays, extraterrestrials, with the agreeable ones. And I also just have a very strong discernment, and I have the gift of clairvoyance, so I can give an intel drop without even looking at other people's information to find out what's going on, even though sometimes I will watch other people's videos to hear a little bit about what they think is going to happen. But my intel drops are mine alone. They are a gift from Allah, and they come subhanahu wa ta'ala wa zu Allah bismillahir rahim Allah sallallahu alayhi salam la ilaha illallah. My knowledge just comes to me naturally. I'm a white hat, but I'm a clairvoyant white hat. I deal with telepathic things, and it's a whole lot of layers to this. But y'all bear with me. I have to highlight my little notes with the highlighter for the intel drop, because I had this video is a intel drop, and it was like a life update on what I'm going through here in Florida. So I have to cross out. Okay, I already talked about my trip to the masjid. Okay, I don't have to talk about my toothache and how I was at the hospital and how I had to sign myself in the mental health unit just to get meds. Yeah, I just got out the hospital a few days ago. I touched on that in my other video, how I'm on probation. And I had to go to the mental health unit because my tooth hurt so bad. I told them I was going to commit suicide if they didn't help me get the meds I need and get me a free dentist. And I just come out of the mental health unit a few days ago. I worked the system and got the meds I needed because the toothache was so bad. I couldn't sleep. It was just too much shit. So I got the good drugs I need now so I can sleep. And I got the free dentist appointment coming up, even though I don't really trust the dentist, because if they try to do a surgery on me and put me asleep, I'm on the blood sacrifice list of the deep state, and they might try to send in a deep state doctor to knock me out so I don't ever wake up again. But white hats and Putin has hats. The white hat hackers will intervene and get that, replace that dentist quick and send in the right one. But I'm not even going to go all into that, because what I'm going to do is order permanent filling. I don't really trust the dentist thing. I'm just glad I got the drugs I needed when I went to the hospital, so I can sleep now. I'm natural. I believe in natural remedies and herbs, but your girl had 3 surgeries on her ankle, and I used to have a morphine drip. So sometimes herbal remedies aren't strong enough for me. I had to go to the hospital so I could get the right meds to help me sleep because I was going through it. But okay, that's enough for the personal updates. I don't work at Home Depot anymore. I don't know if I've covered that. I don't work at Home Depot anymore. I'll be starting a new job soon. All right, I'm coming. I'm coming with the intel drop. I can turn out this light now, because the light, let me turn this light out. I don't really need it on. I don't like lights on in the daytime. That's how I was raised. I had to just go over my notes. I'm coming right back to you. I'm coming right back. All right. So, as far as the intel drop, all right. As far as the intel drop goes, oh man. Woo. As far as the intel drop goes, I want to touch on Putin and Iran. Now, I said about last month, over a month ago, I already said Iran was going to come in strong. Iran is going to come in strong with the assistance of Putin. It is what it is. There's a lot of American patriots that don't like Putin, and they don't understand what's happening. I do. Now, when the elections come and the transfer of power comes back over to the Republicans, what's going to happen is you have there's a lot of Democrats in the deep state. Okay, this is the intel drop now. Enough about my personal shit. Okay, this is your intel drop. I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. Now, you have certain people in the deep state, whether they're Rhino or whether they're Democrat, you have certain people from the deep state where they've had enough. And I'm not I'm not talking about the ones that were dealing with the Pizzagate and the blood adrenochrome yee. I'm not talking about the ones that are too far gone. I'm not talking about the vampires or the ones that hurt children. I'm not talking about the ones that are too far gone and they need this done at Guantanamo. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about a lower level of deep state players. Most of them are foot soldiers, or they're like middle class and they're struggling, and they got caught up in the deep state running errands and doing certain things for the deep state, but they're not as corrupt as the higher up it goes. Now, those people, once the transfer of power comes and things after the election and things turn red with the red wave, which is going to happen, even though, like I've said, President Trump and his son, they don't need to say things against Putin and Russia, because he will lose the Russian conservative American vote in America, and it could be a harmful outcome. But as long as the red wave takes place in the transfer of power, those lower level deep state players like the foot soldiers, the middle class ones that are almost near poverty, at the poverty line, but they're just getting by. Like they have their little extra money for their dip and for the things they need to feel good and go shopping and go to Macy's and get a couple Gucci outfits. But they not up there. They're not up there with the big, corrupt, horrible, draconian, reptilian vampires that are at the top, the ones that have really did the most horrible things to children and all that other stuff. Okay, I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the lower level players in the deep state. Some of them that took the oath, and they're afraid that if they break their oath, they're going to get killed if they don't keep cooperating. If they break their oath, they're afraid they're going to get killed. But they don't have nothing to worry about, because a lot of the lower level ones that haven't done that much corruption, the white hats and covert patriot military and different things, those lower level players are being followed around to weed out the big dog. Now, once the red wave takes place, whether it's Ron DeSantis or Trump or whoever else to come in office, and the red wave swishes across America, those lower level players, there will be mercy extended to them, because they haven't done too much stuff that was too bad. So there'll be mercy extended to them as long as they give information on the big dog. And what I want to tell them, and what I want to tell patriots or whoever from the far left, from BLM and Antifa, or from the far right, there's going to be a extended amount of mercy for certain players that didn't do too much bad stuff. And those people, as long as they cooperate, they will make out okay. Once the transfer of power happens, they will make out okay. They can break their oath. They don't have to worry about being killed. Right now, a lot of them are scared to break their oath, and they're still active in the deep state, doing certain things they shouldn't be doing on the lower level, like the foot soldiers. Now, once they break their oath, even now they can break their oath and they won't get killed. They won't get killed as long as they know how to move right. There will be a certain amount of covert military that's going to follow them to protect them, and they don't even realize that they're being followed, because those who broke their oath, they sometimes hitmen come after them and different things. But basically, to sum it all up, there will be mercy extended to a certain amount of small, low-level foot soldiers. Once this transfer of power goes officially through, they definitely won't have nothing to worry about. A lot of them are tired. They're not with the bullshit no more. They want out. They've had enough. They don't like the Democratic Party anymore, and they want out, and they've had it. And they're becoming more conservative, and a lot of them had conservative values to a certain level. They weren't as far left as other people were portraying them to be. So those people will have mercy extended to them, because the patriots and covert military operations are already following them when they make their drops in the drug cartel, when they make their drops in different things. And the big dog, there's still a lot of big dogs from the deep state that need to be taken down, and it's going to happen. Now, regardless of whether there was a transfer of power or not, no matter who gets in office for the next election, there's going to be bloodshed, there's going to be violence, there's going to be civil war attributes and bad actors at it. But the thing is, with this so-called civil war brewing, it's already happening on small scale. It's kinetic on a small scale. The thing is that neither side is really going to win. If they were to go full blown with the civil war, either side is really going to win, because both sides are well equipped. Yes, both sides are well equipped. So if the civil war were actually to fully go full blown, it would just end up being a depopulation thing, because both sides would, so much bloodshed, it would be depopulation to a certain degree. And if the UN, well, for the utmost degree, realistically speaking, and the UN steps in, some of the UN workers, if the civil war goes full blown, kinetic all the way 100%, some of the UN that comes in is going to go on what side they prefer, because some of the UN police and UN soldiers, they're either working both sides, or they're only affiliated with one or the other. So when the UN army steps in during the civil war, it's still going to be like a depopulation thing overall, if y'all get what I'm saying, because the UN has the UN has white hats and black hats, deep state and non-deep state. The UN, like you could have a soldier from, let's say, Somalia. You could have a soldier from Somalia that's in the UN that might end up not following orders, because not all of them, I'm just using Somalia as an example. There is a lot of UN soldiers that are fed up. They're fed up and they know the UN is corrupt and they're not going to follow orders. But then you have the diehard ones that will follow orders, and they may be kid diddlers, and they might like to drink the adrenochrome. Yeah. And they're already turned out, and they're in the occult, and they're too far gone, and they're into witchcraft and black magic, and they're whether they call themselves a religion, they're fake, they're using religion as a cover. Some of those ones, the die-hard kid diddlers, the pedo nail filers, they're gonna not break their oath with the UN, and they're gonna fight against patriots, and they'll fight in the civil war against patriots if it were to go full blown. But then you have some UN soldiers that won't fight against the patriots and will join in with the patriots, because the outcome will be better. So I want to go back to with Putin and Iran. I wasn't done talking about, I mean, really, the UN at this point and the deep state, they need to throw up the white flag. They need to throw up the white flag. They don't stand a chance, but they're delusional and they think they can pull everything off. Now, if the civil war goes 100% full blown and kinetic, both sides are delusional, because it's going to be a bloodbath and depopulation more so than anything, even though one side might feel like they're gaining more and they're winning. Kind of like what's going on in Ukraine with Russia. The news keeps telling you bullshit stuff, and Putin is ahead of the game. So anyhow, and there's still a lot of it's still a lot of you American patriots that don't have a clue, and you're like, oh, we don't like Putin, we hate Putin, and oh, she's always talking about Putin, she's guilty of treason. No, you guys just don't understand the geopolitical religion aspect of it all, and Constantinople in Turkey, and the agreement that has been made in the pact with the Orthodox Christians and the Muslims. A lot of people don't really understand that the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whether you want to be religious or not, religion does play a part in all of this. Whether you read the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whatever religion you are, it all ties into this. And the Quran is one of the most authentic books that has never been tampered with, unlike the Bible. The Bible has been tampered with. They took out the book of Enoch. It's been rewritten from he said and she said. Now, I'm not putting down the Bible because I read the Bible and the Quran. I study all religions, but at the end of the day, I am Muslim. La ilaha illallah. At the end of the day, I'm Muslim because Islam works for me. It's the only thing, Islam and Rastafari is the only thing that made me feel comfortable and calm and could keep me clean and sober and make me feel strong. When I went to church really didn't work for me, but I'm not going to go back into all of that. But that's pretty much the end of my intel drop. I'm over here cooking too, and I've been out all day. I was in the car. I'm tired. I wanted to touch back on my personal update too. The mental health unit that I stayed in, Circles of Care. There were some shady deep state things going on there. And a few of those people there that maybe were caught up in it, I hope they can come out of it clean. And we'll just leave it at that. Where we go one, we go all. Babylon shall fall. Awudu billah.